pray. Lord, thank you for this day. Just thank you for bringing us together, Lord, safely. Lord, I ask you to bless this council, bless the administration, Lord. Lord, I ask you to help us to have a successful, productive meeting for the citizens of Cumberland, Lord. Lord, I ask you to help us to be professionals, Lord Jesus. Lord, I just ask you to be with all of our military, be with all of our city workers, be with each and every sick person, Lord. Just be with each and every prayer request that's on each person's heart, Lord. Lord, I just ask you to continue to be with the city of Cumberland, Lord. Lord, I just ask you to bless this city, Lord. You're still God of this city, and I want to see this city prosper, Lord. Lord, I just thank you for everything. In Jesus' name I pray and ask this thing.
Amen. Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have 5 members present. Have a roll call vote. Roll call inventory, okay?
Bush, here. Dixon,
Here.
Elliott, here. Gilliam, Jarvis,
Here.
and Raleigh.
Here. The first item on the agenda is the March 12, 2013 minutes. Each of you have copies.
Would it be all right if
What do we have our-
Hold it a second, hold it. One at a time, and please be recognized before you speak, okay? Now, we have the minutes for March the 12th, 2013. Any comments or suggestions, sirs?
I would think that we want to hear from our guest speakers first, Mr. Mayor.
Well, let's,
They usually don't get time, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
well, that's why we want to take care of the city business first, and we'll do that as soon as we get down to guest speakers on the agenda, okay?
Well,
Well,
they're not right.
Okay. Okay, what's your motion?
My motion is that we just table until next meeting.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Ms. Elliott, table the minute till next meeting. That's the March 12th meeting, minutes. Seconded by David Dixon. Let's have a roll call vote.
Bush? Yes, to table the minutes. Dixon,
Yes.
Elliott? Yes, table. Jarvis?
yes.
And Raleigh.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. The minutes for March 12th will be tabled later on the table till our next scheduled or regular council meeting. The next item on the agenda is financial statements.
I'll be recognized.
David Dixon wants to be recognized.
Looking over the statements for the past month, water, works, and sewer, I see the attorney was paid $250 out of water, $250 out of sewer. Then I also see on general fund that the attorney was paid $500 out of administration. So is there a reason he got paid twice in
We
one
didn't pay
month?
it last month, we're going to give. You told me just to hold it till it counts.
So that's a February and a March payment.
Any more comments, questions?
Ma'am, also on that same report, the treasurer's report for water, works, and sewer, I see a water for Lexington Herald of $400.52, if we could find out what that was for.
That was for the ad for the water improvement project, which we had to announce and obtain bids that we put in the Lexington Herald.
May I be recognized on that, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
Why would we pay Lexington Herald when we have a local paper?
That was the, that major water improvement for the bid for, we were applying for $1,900,000 grant. That was about 2 months ago that we put that in there. But that's what it was worth. And the engineering firm that was, wanted to get the bids in from the different people to do the work, and he advertised in the Lexington Herald.
That's all I have.
any additional comments? Go ahead.
Just another, I guess, question or comment on the treasurer's report for receipts and disbursements.
General fund or what?
Let's see, general fund, yes, I noticed with Fleet One that the maintenance department looks like that they're using more in gas than the police department. Does that sound reasonable?
Yes, with the garbage packer going down there every day, and well, 3 days a week at least, using, one tank of gas is a good, about every day, because you only get 5 gallons a mile off on the garbage pack.
Does that, so the packer doesn't use diesel?
No, it uses,
So
that's fuel.
So I thought we had a different charge somewhere at one time for, and I may be just overlooking it.
No.
I thought we had a different.
We did until the service station's able to get the fleet, processing machine in the store.
Okay, so the fleet includes the diesel and the regular, okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Be recognized.
Yes.
The alcohol tax brought in for, I'm assuming the month of March was $2,756.72. I was expecting that to be a little higher since there was no alcohol tax reported on the February, general fund report.
Their sales is way down, because that's actually so much for 2 months.
Are we collecting from everybody?
Question was, are we collecting from everyone?
Yes.
So the answer was,
She
yes,
answered.
the answer was yes. Any further questions or comments? If not, we'll move right on and lay the financial statements aside. And now we'll entertain the guest speakers, and Mr. Bobby Godfrey and Mr. Cleon Corning, I think, and then Mr. the two fellows from the.
Mayor, if I may suggest, our friends from across the mountain have a ways to go back. If they would like to go first, I think Bobby
Okay,
and I would.
okay, if they're, go right ahead.
Thank you.
If that's agreeable with you and the council.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Tracy Bailey asked us to come before the council tonight to explain about the 421 yard sale. The bottom line, it's about
Excuse me, Preston McLean, right?
Preston McLean, yes.
Jim helped me.
Jim Helton.
Okay.
It's about tourism, and you wouldn't think yard sale and tourism go together, but you can ask Bobby, because we all work the 127 yard sale in the fall, and it brings new dollars into the county instead of us just trading dollars. We understood that the council does have an ordinance against yard sales, but it could be special permission for special events, and we're hoping that you guys would come on board with this. Every business in town could have a street sale if they wanted to, with your permission. Individual places could set up. The college might want to do something down in their parking lot, something like they do in the fall as well. It's catching on. Jim spent numerous hours on the website. We do have 3 billboards up that he's going to talk to you more about. I'm going to pass these flyers out, and as soon as you can, look at the website, because we've got a lot of activity in the county, and that's what we're hoping people will see on the web and on the billboards and start coming in for that weekend. I've got some people coming from northern Kentucky that plan to come and camp and stay all 3 days. It's on May 2nd through the 4th. So I'll pass this out and let Jim get started on his approach there, and we can answer any questions.
Preston talked about the
approved locations. And the reason we're doing that is to keep it from being a free-for-all. We're not inviting everybody to drive up and down the road and set up on the side of the road, because that's strictly not legal, even from a state standpoint, much less, the cities. But, this is some of the approved locations that we have. There's more than, I've got a couple of pages here, but there's more than that since I printed this. But we've got Comfort Inn and the Huddle House, and the depot in Harlan is gonna be the arts and craft village. And anybody that does arts and crafts, handmade items, the tables and the chairs are furnished and the space is furnished. There's no charge if it's handcrafted items only. And he said we had our billboards up, and this is what they look like. There's one down in Tennessee, one in Corbin, and one in Bell County. It's got everything on there except this QR code. This is one of our flyers that we put up in the windows. This is available on the website to print out. The website is 421yardsale.com. And on the left-hand column down on the bottom, you can print the flyer, put it up in your business windows, those of you that can do that. And there's also a media kit there that has a lot of information for businesses and organizations, how you can be part of this. What I see from a business standpoint is the advertising on our website. You can get in the ad rotator with a link to your website or your information if you're a business, and it's $25 to be on there until this time next year. And we've decided we're going to do this 3 years no matter what. And if it's working, then we're going to invite other communities along 421. And the website will tell you it's not just 421. Any community with a major connection to 421, like 119, they can be part of it. The same way with 38 going up to Everett's across into Virginia. We're inviting them to be part of it. But I think 421 goes all the way across the U.S. from the Atlantic up to Canada, I believe. But it goes right through Frankfort, goes through Lexington, goes through Richmond, and of course it meanders around in the mountains between here and Richmond. Is it Richmond?
Yes.
Yeah. I will be sure I got that right. But anyway, we feel we can invite Richmond in next year, or in a couple of years down the road, if it's working, and take it right on to Lexington, all the way to Frankfort. That's what we see doing with it, and just having a major event across Kentucky on the first Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of May every year. And as I say, you can download this and put them up in the windows. I don't think they like for you to put them on telephone poles, but anywhere you can put one of these up would help us considerably. We are having a talent contest. It will be on Friday. The sale is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. On Friday, we're going to have the talent contest. It has 2 divisions, 14 and under, and 15 to 21 years. The 15 and 21 years first place winner is going to get 2 tickets to ride the zip line. That's, I don't know what's that, $150, something like that. The 14 and under is getting an ice cream cake that'll serve about 8 down at Dairy Queen. And we're gonna try to have trophies and a little cash prize for all the first, second, third place winners. But need to get our talent together, our kids, and get in on this. All this is available on the website. You can sign up for the talent, or you can get in touch with the phone number's there, how to get hold of somebody to sign up. But anyway, that's basically what it is. We think we can, if we advertise this and do it right, people will want to come back next year.
Well, I believe with the handouts you gave us and everything, and if the council's got any questions right now, would you like to ask Mr. Gilliam or Mr. Preston, any questions right now?
I think we'd have to review the ordinance on the flea market before we could give you an answer.
Well, it will be up to you folks. I mean, sure, I mean, but I understand what you're talking about
Yes.
on that. And we've had the same thing with Harlan and Everett. But they're gonna relax that. It's just that they understand that we're not, you know, there's gonna be about 50 set up next to the Huddle House there. But there's not gonna be anybody on the highway.
Understand?
I set up in the Black Bear Festival every year, and it's a big festival.
Yeah.
Is that considered, do you have to get special permission through that ordinance, or is that something entirely different?
That's handled by the Tourist Commission. I think Mr. Point can answer it for you.
I believe what you need to do is see Tracy, and she can give you all the information. Just give her a call or email her, or anything. She'll tell you exactly what you need to do.
Any more questions? Anybody have any questions?
I guess this question is more towards you, Ms. Smith. The ordinance he's referring to, is that just the privilege license ordinance where it
Yeah.
says they can't sit up on the street?
I think this is.
That's the same one that you've been making exceptions to. If the council provides exception, you know, not that you can do it. You actually vote to make an exception to it, like marking off the
During that
main
time
street.
Yeah, well, again, we're not expecting you to open the streets up to just anybody. This will be in approved locations, just like the Huddle House is an approved spot. Comfort Inn is approved. Their deal is, if you'll rent a room from them, you can set up on their lot during that. Same thing with the campground down here. If you wanna pull your RV in there and rent a spot, you can sell there, it's no extra. But it's not a free-for-all.
Who monitors, excuse me, sir, who monitors what they sell? You know,
Well-
I want some stuff coming in, you know.
Well, there's some rules that he put on the website
Yeah.
that's a guideline that each individual city or person that they're letting them, like the campground that Stephen Cross is doing, can add or take away, like no pornography, no loud. Some people might not want the rebel flag, but it would be up to the individual. That way they could be responsible / liability for their own location.
We only have one requirement. It is legal and it's ethical. And it's up to the location. If they wanna let them sell pocket knives, fine. If they don't, that's fine. But, if it's legal and ethical, we don't have a problem with it. And it's kinda like, Preston said, pornography is in the eye of the beholder. If we don't think it's ethical, we're not gonna let them sell it.
Very good.
And like Jim said, we're going through the Harlan 2020 organization, which is nonprofit, and every bit of this money that is raised through ads is going right back in. Those billboards are like $500 a piece.
And we appreciate you coming in and getting started on
Yes.
this, and the council, I'm sure, will consider everything that you said, and they'll review your handouts, and I'm sure they'll act on one way or the other.
Download that media kit, guys.
Yes.
If you wanna know what all's available.
Okay,
Because we have some free advertising on there too.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The next item on the agenda is
Thank you for your
Ms.
time.
Gothard and Mr. Cornick. They're wanting to address the council.
Mr. Mayor, council, Robin, audience, I hate to have my back to the, I learned at a young age to keep my back against the wall. As I'm sure many of you have over the years. That doesn't look too bad. Thank you, folks, for allowing us to come here today. I probably should start saying, if there was anything that you ever wanted to know about the Tri-Cities Heritage Development Corporation and was afraid to ask, this is your lucky evening, because we're here to answer any questions you may have. I would like to start out with telling you just a little bit about, and we'll do this quickly, by the way, I know you guys are pushed for time. Tell you a little bit about the corporation, and then Bobby is gonna come up and tell you some things that we currently are doing. And we have a full plate, as you will realize. The corporation itself is composed of a president, vice president, and the normal officers' positions. Each city is represented on the board. All three mayors participate, and they appoint members to participate on the board. There's some at-large members. Academia is represented. Dr. Ayers has representation on the board. All the board serves free of charge. In fact, it probably costs the board members some pocket change to participate. We have a part-time director, Ms. Gothard. It's full-time work, part-time pay, I should say, is what it amounts to, as again, that you will realize. We are engaged in activities that hopefully will improve quality of lives in our communities, the three cities. And we have made some inroads in that. I know we neglect to keep you posted, and I apologize for that. I know, fortunately or unfortunately, faces change here. The mayor, council, and we forget or neglect to come and update you on what we are, what we do, and how we do it. But I'll commit to you that we will keep you posted henceforth from now on. I'm going to go ahead and get Bobby. If you have any questions, at the end, we'll be happy to take them for you. Most of you realize, I'm sure, that Miss Thacker over in England passed away. She once said, if you want somebody to say something, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman. I kind of aspire to that philosophy myself. So I'm going to ask Bobby to come up and
She's the Iron Lady.
Iron Lady, exactly. Exactly. Margaret, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all for having us. I'm just going to update you a little bit on some of the projects that we're working on. I've been working with the mayor, and we've put together a grant to the Fraser Foundation. And some of the things we're asking for in that grant is a temporary dog kennel that will hold stray dogs until the county can get here. We're working on funds to assist the city in getting all the city buildings cleaned up and painted. And that includes the fire department, the police department, the maintenance and the city hall, as well as paint for the curbs and fire hydrants and things around the fire department up there. We're working, we've included in that a motor for the snow plow, a new, and tires for backhoe, and a new roof for the police department and maintenance. And we already have bulbs for these street lights out here, and if we can get the power on them, Tracy called KU today to see if they would come and change the bulbs. She purchased 12 bulbs for those new lights, so they can all be changed at the same time. And of course, we continually look for new businesses. We're calling on people all the time, trying to get some new businesses to open in town. We have a few people who come in and talk to us and don't always come back, but we are talking with people. We're working with the arts and crafts on getting heat and air in their building, which they need desperately, and we need them. And then we also have been working with the Veterans Committee, and I'm sure you all have heard about the Veterans Memorial Park and the trail grant. We've spent a couple weeks or 3 weeks working with Cumberland Valley Ed Board, and they helped prepare the grant for $100,000 from Parks and Recreation. And then we've written another grant to match that $100,000 to try to get this try to get construction started on this, park over on 119. You all are all aware of that, aren't you?
We're aware of the part.
Okay. And that we're trying to get funds for that, okay?
Up there's a picture on the wall too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. We feel like this is gonna be a real plus to the town because this will bring people in who want to put their fathers, brothers, and so forth on that wall when we get that going. That's gonna be a big help to promote small businesses and tourism. I've been working with the city employees, and I'll have to say they are working really well with me on this pride cleanup. As of today, this afternoon, they had already picked up, with those helpers that are here, that church group, they've already picked up 235 bags and filled up 5 pickup trucks. So they are really making a dent in some of this, and I encourage everybody to try to pick up on their street. And Mr. Raleigh knows I've called him before trying to get Railroad Street cleaned up, but they are looking better, and they're working really hard, and I want to give them credit for what they're doing. Tracy and I have been working with this property back on Cumberland Avenue, and when it's feasible for us to start, we hope to put in a little mini park in there with a water feature, and we're gonna ask local gardeners if they would donate some butterfly bushes and some other plants that would come back every year and not need to be replanted. And we have a truckload of mulch that Lacus is bringing up for us to fill that in and get it leveled out. We're working with Trail Town designation. Have you all heard about this Trail Town project? And it's moving along really well. On June the 8th, we have a motorcycle group ride that's coming. It's starting in London, and it's coming up to Everett's, to those men's area, and then coming to Cumberland, and then we'll go on to Lynch to Portal 31. I don't know for sure. I think the last I heard there was about 40 to 50 people who had registered to come up here for this ride. And so they'll be stopping for gas and for lunch and visiting the attractions in the area. On April the 20th, there's going to be a workshop over at the college. It's on cemeteries, old cemeteries. If any of y'all want to go, it's free, and you can call over and talk to Larry DeFollick. It's at 10:30 on Saturday.
What date was that again, Bobby?
April the 20th.
Okay, thank you.
The Heritage,
And the time?
10:30. The Heritage Council from Frankfurt is putting this together, and I think they're interested in helping to clean up and restore some of the old cemeteries in the area. The Blair Cemetery is one they're looking at, and I've asked them to look at the Blair Cemetery in Lynch, which is the people who were living in Lynch before U.S. Steel came in.
Well, I'm sorry to bother you.
That's okay.
Will there be an ad or something in the paper about
I
this, or
don't
do you
know. I received an email.
Okay.
And I just got it in the last few days.
Okay.
And I knew they had been working on this, but I just received the
Okay.
email. And I thought I'd pass it on because a lot of people have relatives in areas that need to be cleaned up and fenced in. And
There's a cemetery on Sanctified Hill that hasn't been
right.
taken care of in years.
That's true. That's true.
It's so old, some of them don't even have markers.
That's true. There's several around in the area, and that's the kind of cemeteries they're interested in
Yeah.
looking into.
Can you still get up to that cemetery in St. Patrick?
You can, it's a little
Barely.
difficult.
But that may be something to look at where they could help with the road and
Right.
fix it.
Yeah, and it's possible that could be, well, you can go in a 4-wheel drive.
I've been up there on four-wheeler and it was tough. It was very tough.
I haven't been up there in a
That's a
few
good
years,
project.
but
Yeah, that is, yeah.
it's a good
yeah.
thing for the area in keeping our heritage and genealogy all together.
Right.
Sure, yeah.
With this Trail Town thing, we've also been working on horseback riding trails that are starting at Putney, and there'll be a trailhead at Putney. There's about 55 miles completed up to Ledger County, and I guess the first ride on that trail will be in mid-May, and Lady Brashear is supposed to be, she's supposed to lead it. So that should be an exciting week. I'm not exactly sure of the date. I heard 15th and I've heard 17th, so.
I hate to bother you, but I'm in a fire truck right down here at the end of the street, like, quick, my car's on fire. We tried to call him, he got hold of nobody.
Okay.
That's, up here, Rodney's Turkey.
Is it there or up here? One?
He said right up the street.
Up the street.
Let's see if I can see which building it's in front of. Maybe we can go.
They say it's gonna blow up.
Where's it
Down,
at?
down here at the intersection. When you come
And those
up-
people,
Fire extinguisher.
there's people in the senior citizens building.
Did you get a hold 2105?
They say it was in full engulfed now. Can somebody holler at them?
He said that the three
Intersection up there. Cumberland Avenue and Ireland, Main Street.
Will we have the fire chief's phone number?